Is this a Camille's Harem video or a Need for Wheat video? Even I don't know which, though there's not really all that much difference between the two anymore. This is Scott, a rare appearance for sure. Don't be too disappointed. As promised, I'm doing a deep dive writer's perspective on an anime that is releasing right now. The one I choose to follow is Shangri La Frontier, the cure for SAO. At least that's what Lars and I called it when we did our pre-anime manga review for this current season. So let's get into it. Just a general intro to this series. The main character is obsessed with playing what he calls trash games. He gets introduced to a god game, one that has millions of fans, and he becomes a fan too. Honestly, that's all you need to know right off of the bat. It's pretty easy to see what the story is going to be like. Just one episode in, and it's hard to be too involved with the story, mostly because the story itself, along with the characters, are still locked into the introductory phase of the story. There's a lot of ground to cover, and it's a delicate balance of exposition, character action, and drama that is required to get the ball rolling. At one time, I would have thought that the first episode of this anime was too exposition heavy in the first episode, but after thinking about it for a little bit, I think it's just the right amount. What I noticed as a writer in this episode is that even though there was a bunch of exposition explaining some of the background elements that are necessary for us to know, it was all very short. For the most part, all of that required material was handled in a very short and succinct way. A general overview so that when something else in the story shows up that's related, the watchers don't get confused. It works. It's not the most exciting thing to watch, but I feel like it's often a necessary evil. But one that has to be handled carefully or else you'll lose your readers very quickly. I do, however, like Sunraku's inner monologue in this story. It provides a lot of necessary characterization that you need for the introduction of his character. It makes it fun, and more importantly, it puts you right into the passenger seat for the cannonball run that is Shangri La Frontier. He's the right kind of character for this premise. A man that is determined to beat and overcome the best game he's ever come across, one that's happy to be playing an awesome game. It's his story, we're just along for the ride. I know from reading the manga that this gets more complicated and fun as the story goes, as more characters show up that make life very interesting for Sunraku. And I can't wait to see how that's animated. So far, I like what I'm seeing, and I just hope that it continues to get better. This is Camille's Harem. Look forward to the next video on this.